Hey Algebra 1, and thanks for tuning in. Today we're looking at lesson 9.6, solving nonlinear systems of equations, and we're going to be looking for 4 things to write down today, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to watch is just a reminder of how we can solve something by substitution. You should remember this from back in chapter 5, so if you needed another refresher, you can go back there. But we're essentially going to look at substitution and elimination today. The first one, I'm going to go ahead and start by substitution. So I already have them solved for y. So what I'm going to do is replace this one and plug it in up here. So it's going to look like this. Negative 2x plus 3 for my y is equal to the x squared plus x minus 1. What I want to do is I want to get everything to one side. So what that looks like is I'm going to subtract 3 and match it up with my like term, and add 2x and match it up with that like term. So that I have 0 equals x squared plus 3x minus 4. Now I'm ready to factor. So when I factor x squared plus 3x minus 4, I just think of the factors of 4, negative 4, that would also add to positive 3, and that's going to be x plus 4 and x minus 1. Once I have my factoring ready, then I can solve for x. So as I'm solving for x, I'm going to get x is equal to negative 4 and x is equal to positive 1. The last step, I'm going to plug x values back in to find my y's. So what I would do is just plug this back into an original equation. So I'm going to use my negative 2x plus 3. So y is equal to negative 2 times negative 4 first plus 3. That'd be 8 plus 3, which is equal to 11. So when x is equal to negative 4, y is equal to 11. And then I'm going to plug in the 1. Y is equal to negative 2 times 1 plus 3. That's negative 2 plus 3. That's 1. So if x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. So that's all we're really focusing on when we're solving for substitution. Get everything to one side, so you set it equal to 0. Then we factored, then we solve for x, and then we plug in to find our y values. So we're going to go ahead and try that for questions 1 and 2. Let's go ahead and pause the video now so you can try those by yourself, and once you're done, click play to see how it's done. So the first thing I did is I went ahead and just substituted this 9 in for the y up here. So 9 is equal to x squared plus 9. I'm going to get everything to one side, so I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. So I get 0 is equal to x squared plus 0, or just x squared, which just means x is equal to 0. Now that I know that, I can go back and plug in x to find my y value. So y is equal to 0 squared plus 9, so that means y is equal to 9. So when x is 0, y is 9. 0, 9. For number 2, I just went ahead and plugged in the negative 5x to this 1 on the bottom, so I didn't have to move everything. So I have negative 5x is equal to x squared minus 3x minus 3. I'm going to go ahead and move everything to one side. So I'm going to add 5x to my like term over here. So I have 0 equals x squared plus 2x minus 3. Now I'm going to factor. So I have 0 is equal to x, and I need to find the factors of negative 3 that also add to 2, so x plus 3 and x minus 1. Okay, then I'm ready to solve, so I'm going to have x is equal to negative 3 and x is equal to positive 1. So now I can go back and plug in. I'm going to plug it into the easiest one, which was negative 5x. So first, y is equal to negative 5 times negative 3, and I get y is equal to 15. So when x is equal to negative 3, y is 15. And then for this next one, I'm going to plug in the 1. So negative 5 times 1, that's going to be y is equal to negative 5. So when x is equal to 1, y is equal to negative 5. So those are my 2 solutions there for number 2. The next thing we're going to look at is elimination. And what I'm trying to do here with elimination is to try and solve or get something eliminated. Your main goal again would to try to be able to get these equal to 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this entire second one by -1. So that means the equation 1 would stay the same. Y is equal to x squared minus 3x minus 2. But my second equation would be -y is equal to positive 3x plus 8. Okay, that's going to give me 0 equals x squared. These 3x's cancel out, and then plus 6. Now what I want to do is maybe go ahead and see if I can factor or solve for x. So I'm going to subtract subtract 6 from both sides, and I get -6 is equal to x squared. When I try to solve for x, I'm going to do the square root of x squared, but what I can't do is this. This is impossible. There's no negative square of a number. So my answer would be no solution for this one, because I can't make a true statement with that. Okay, so the same way, again, you're going to try to get y's to cancel out, so you just might want to multiply by -1s, simplify, plug in, and solve for y's. So here we go. This is 3 and 4. Let's go ahead and pause here, try to do this by elimination. Once you're done, click play to check your work. So what I did here is I multiplied the second one by a negative. So the first one stays positive, y is equal to x squared plus x, but the second one goes to -y is equal to -x minus 5. These y's cancel out, so I have 0 is equal to x squared. The x's cancel out, and then I have x squared minus 5. Now I'm ready to go ahead and try to solve for x. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. X squared is equal to 5, and when I find the square root of both sides, I just estimated with my calculator, and I got x is approximately positive and -2.2. That was after some calculations there. So now what I'm going to do is go back and plug it in to one of my questions. I'm going to plug this back in to my x plus 5, since that would be easiest right up here. So I have 2.2 So I can do 2.2 plus 5, and that's going to give me 7.2. So when x is 2.2, y is 7.2. And then if I do -2.2 plus 5, that's going to give me 2.8. So when x is -2.2, y could be 2.8. And if you did the square root, the squaring one, your numbers would just be a little bit off from mine, but still be relatively close. And then for number 4, for elimination, again, I just multiplied the second one by a -1. So I have the first one staying the same. Y is equal to 9x squared plus 8x minus 6. And then -y is equal to, I'm going to write minus 5x under here, and then plus 4. So I have 0 equals 9x squared plus 3x minus 2. Then I'm going to go ahead and factor. So this would be 0 is equal to 3x plus 1, or sorry, 3x minus 2, and 3x minus 1. I did that by grouping. Then I'm ready to solve. So I have 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. So that means x is equal to 2/3. Sorry, 3x plus 2. This should have been plus 2 and minus 1. Jeez. So x is equal to positive 2/3. And then when I set 3x minus 1 is equal to 0, I get x is equal to, oh my gosh, x is equal, first one, x is equal to -2/3. Losing my brain over here. And then the second one, x is equal to positive 1/3. Okay, when I plug those back in, I'm going to go back up here to just my 5x minus 4. So I'll have y is equal to 5 times -2/3 minus 4. That's going to be y is equal to -3 1/3 minus 4, or -7 1/3. So that would be -2/3, comma, -7 1/3. And if you did the improper fraction, that's fine. And then over here, when I plug in 1/3, so that's 5 times 1/3 minus 4. That's 1 2/3 minus 4, or y is equal to negative 3 1/3. So that would be 1/3, comma, negative 3 1/3. Okay, so those are my two solutions for number 4. That's going to conclude our notes for today for lesson 9.6. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.